you can have everything you want. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. When I heard Zig say that, I wrote it down, and maybe you want to do this. Underline the word everything. That's what was intriguing to me about this sentence. So these are the success equations. This is the wealth formula from the Bible, from John Kennedy, from Zig Ziglar.
I believe, and I make this statement 40 times in my book, that you can get everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. If you're selling a product that solves a problem, then you're helping someone else get what they want, which is the solution to the problem, so you get what you want and what you deserve. If you're in management and your productivity and the productivity of your people is important to your income, if you can train, enthuse, inspire, motivate your people to be successful, then your rewards are going to be greater. You can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. See, we can get what we want if we can give you some thoughts or some ideas or some motivation or some stimulation. If we can, in fact, leave you something so that when you go home tonight, you will be a better man or a better woman or a better boy or a better girl. Then you will be more successful tomorrow.
When somebody comes and says, John, I want to be a leader, I always ask them the question, why? Why do you want to be a leader? I mean, do you want to be a leader because you want a corner office? Do you want to be a leader because you like to be in control? Do you want to be a leader because you love to be in the front of the pack? Do you want to be a leader because you want to have a good parking place? Why do you want to be a leader? Because leadership isn't easy. Leadership a lot of times isn't fun. Leadership a lot of times is kind of lonely. There's only one reason to be a leader, and that is to add value to people. And you and I will only add value to people if we truly value them. I have a nonprofit organization equipped that's trained almost 2 million leaders internationally around the world. And I kid you not, as I go to developing countries twice a year and I travel internationally, and I sit down, sometimes I have the privilege of being in the offices of presidents of countries. And as I watch these developing countries, the thing that is the cardinal sin among leadership so much is that they have leaders of their countries that truly don't value the people. And if you and I don't value people, we will devalue people. Number two, if you want to add value to people, you have to make yourself more valuable. You just have to get better. You have to keep growing. You have to keep learning. You have to keep developing. Why? Very simply. If you're leading the pack, you've got to be able to give what you have, and you can't give what you don't have, and so therefore you've got to put a lot of good stuff in so that you can pass it on to others and share with them and add value to them. Thirdly, if you want to add value to people, you have to know and relate to what other people value. You and I have to walk slowly through the crowd. We have to listen. We have to care. You see, great leaders are first of all listeners, and then they're learners, and then they're leaders. They really do take their cue from the people. They understand that the key of leadership is connecting with the people that you lead, and the only way that you and I ever connect is by caring enough to listen. When I'm speaking in the business community, I always share with them that for them there are 3 ways to add value to people, but for me there are 4. And I tell them I'll give them the 3. And so I'll spend maybe an hour doing those 3 things I just shared with you, talking about how to add value to people. And inevitably when I'm done with the 3, somebody raise their hand and say, John, you said that for you there was 4, but you said there's only 3 for us. I said, yes, it's nothing personal, but this is about my faith. And so I don't really need to share this with you. It's because I'm trying to help you, and I don't want to cross boundaries with you. And inevitably they'll say, but John, tell us what yours is. And I'll say, well, okay, you can hear mine, but don't write it down. Because number 4 for me is, if I really want to add value to people, I have to do the things that God values. One more. Every day, I encourage others to add value to people. Every day I encourage other people to add value to people. I'm totally committed to this, and I'm committed to it because I was encouraged in 1978 to add value to people. I was pastoring my second church, and my assistant, Eileen Beavers, gave me a Christmas gift. I opened it up, and much to my joy, it was a book. I love to read books, so that's always a good gift for me.
And on the outside of the book, as I looked at the cover, the book, then I got real excited because the title was The Greatest Story Ever Told. And I thought, oh my gosh, the greatest story ever told. I wonder what it is. I wonder who's in it. And when I opened the book, I was greatly surprised because every page was blank. Every page. Except the first page where Eileen Beavers wrote this note, Dear John, your life is before you. You fill these pages with good works, kind acts, matters of your heart. Live your life with intentionality.
It's a part of the process. It's getting you prepared. You may be doing something that seems insignificant, but don't despise the day of small beginnings. If you complain, you'll get stuck. In those tough times, something is developing in you that you can't see. At the right time, your anointing will meet up with your appointing. You've been anointed. Will you go through the process so you see your appointing come? Too often we have the anointing, but we get discouraged by the process. When you're tempted to give up, you have to remind yourself it's all a part of the process. Don't let disappointments talk you out of it. You've come too far to stop now. When life throws you a curve, remind yourself it's only temporary. Don't fall into self-pity. Keep looking forward. The joy is coming. The breakthrough is on the way. Don't get discouraged thinking that you're falling behind. My friends, my colleagues, they've all passed me up. God knows how to make up for lost time. Don't quit being your best because you're not where you thought you would be. They got married. You're still single. Keep doing the right thing. Your appointing is coming.
I prayed to abort the process. I prayed to speed it up. I was working on the destination, but he was working on me. The blessing is already prepared. That the work doesn't have to be applied to where you're going. The work has to be applied to you so that when you get where you're going, you can handle what you gotta handle. The steps, the steps, the steps.
And I'll admit, I don't like to wait. But I've learned some things take time. You may not like it, but you can't bypass the process. And something may have your name on it. You know God has put it in your heart. But if it happens too soon, the blessing will become a burden. Sometimes God proves His love to us by what He's not letting us have. I used to pray, God, give me everything in a hurry. Now I've learned to pray, God, don't give me anything too soon. What has your name on it will not go to anyone else. You may have some pieces in your life that don't make sense. God is in the process of connecting the dots in your life. Trust Him when the piece doesn't make sense. Everything is serving His plan. He never said, you're going to understand everything. He said, my ways are not your ways. You have to trust Him when you don't understand. This is not the time to be discouraged. This is the time to stir your faith up.
And I think more times than not in life, people treat God like a Santa Claus. And then when they don't get the gifts that they thought they were going to get, it's a problem. And I think true courage is the ability to embrace what we don't understand. And I think true courage is when you find yourself in the midst of an opposition, but you still have a certain level of perspective to say, even though I don't like it, I can still trust God even though I can't trace God.
And when we get in a storm, we have a tendency to wonder, where is God? Because we buy into this notion that if God was with us, we would have no storm. I looked for Him. I didn't see Him, but you cannot see in a storm. That's why He told you to walk by faith and not by sight.
I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me.
You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no a million times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away. I'm young, I'm one yes away. You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion, you can't stop it. You can contain it for a while, but you cannot stop. This is life. And you can't defeat me. There is not. You don't have enough power. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough strength to stop this. Contain it for a year, you might. 2 years, you might. You do not have hate, does not have enough energy to destroy love. You cannot destroy this. And so I'm telling you today, it's going to be a dogfight. And the sooner you realize it's going to be a dogfight. Okay, so let me just say this to you. So in America, right, and I'm sure it's the same thing here, but they're in our armed forces. Let's just pick one, the Navy, for instance. We just pick the Navy, right? Well, let me tell you guys, this is listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, somebody over here, help me out. You are in the Navy, right? They're teaching you war. Right? What's the first thing they teach you? Boot camp, the very first, somebody tell me over here, just take a wild guess. What's the first thing they teach soldiers? Good, courage, okay. This side, discipline. So give me something practical. What's the first practical thing that they would teach you? Say it again. Defending yourself, somebody over here. How to swim, listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, the very first thing they teach you is how to respond when you have a jam gun. And number 2, how to carry a dead body. That's the first thing they teach you. They don't teach you how to defend yourself. They don't teach you how to swim. The first thing they teach you is when your gun is jammed. The first thing they teach you is a dead body, how to carry a dead body. And somebody tell me, why would they start you there? That's the worst case scenario. That's what you're not prepared for. That's what you're not thinking. You're not thinking when you go out there to defend yourself that your gun is going to jam. You're not thinking when you go out there that your boy gonna get killed and you gotta drag. You're not thinking that. So listen to me. It's not hardships that hurt us. It's not my cousin getting shot twice. It's not my cousin spending 50 years in jail. It's not my aunt dying of cancer. It's not my wife being diagnosed with 7 lesions on her brain that will break you. What will break most people is you didn't prepare for that.